Norway. I had to get used to the scenery when I woke up. I had been on the road for about 1 week at this point and was used to the Finnish forests. Quite a drastic change of scenery, but both beautiful in their own way. I don't want to over-romanticize camping, but a morning like this is really amazing.
Today's the day. Today I will be reaching the Nordkapp, I think. It's 3 hours from here and the weather looks good. So we might have good weather at the Nordkapp. That would be nice. Today's weather was supposed to be cloudy. I mean, there are some clouds, but I would consider that good weather. Yeah, this campsite was unbelievable. Last night, the real midnight sun was shining in my face when I was sitting in the car. I went into the car because there were a lot of mosquitoes in the evening. It's such a strange feeling to feel the sun in your face in the middle of the night, and it's such a golden light. It's really beautiful. Yeah, maybe with the weather like this, we'll have some nice golden midnight sun at the Nordkapp.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Reaching the Nordkapp felt strange. For so many years I had this image of it being such a special place and that it would take such a long time to get there. And yes, it was a lot of driving. But I didn't feel like I was that far away from home yet. It's a strange feeling. Maybe you understand what I mean. At the end of the day, it's just a normal road you have to take, and traveling is a process. Maybe it was my overstimulated mind which couldn't quite grasp how far I'd come in such a short amount of time. Nonetheless, I really liked what I saw.
Falling to the back of the queue, I must confess. The only thing I don't want to do is be your second best. But darling, why am I still waiting for what I know you won't allow? Can't you see enough of me?
The Jimny is fighting, but soon we will there. Holy shit. The parking lot is packed.
Oh my god. This is insane. Here I am. Reached the Nordkapp. Being there felt good, and with the good weather, it was quite an impressive sight. But it felt a bit strange, knowing that I could now cross this off my bucket list. I guess in the end, the journey is the destination, and the moment is what counts. I walked away from the masses a little bit. It took a little time to get to the edge, but the walk was worth it for sure. Because it was windy, I headed back to the car to warm up. It was 6 degrees, in the night it was 0 degrees, and I wanted to eat something. The plan was to go into the museum after, but as I was sitting inside the Jimny, things changed quickly. Suddenly I heard people screaming. I turned around and saw smoke coming out of a campervan. In a matter of seconds, the smoke turned into flames. The fire spread so fast because of the wind. I was hooking up the trailer to move my car when the wind changed direction and was heading towards me. And I got scared a little bit, I'll have to admit. But I could move the car and everybody else could move their car away from the fire. Nobody was hurt, luckily. Heilige Scheiße. Every now and then there was a loud bang and it was quite scary, and you could feel the heat. Even though I was so far away from the fire, it was really, really warm. And together with the other campers, we all tried to understand what had just happened. After about 35 to 45 minutes, the fire department arrived. I hope those people had fire insurance at least. The camper had a Swiss license plate. I guess they were pretty far away from home. Damn, I mean, it could have been way worse. Nobody was hurt. They probably have made a lot of memories together with that car. Even though it's just a material thing, but to lose that, that's hard, I think. If you look up the webcam from the Nordkapp, you can actually still see the fire if you go back to the date, which was the 25th of June in 2025 at around 6 p.m. There you can see where the camper was parked and where I was parked. That day there were around 250 campers at the Nordkapp. That was a lot. Because of that, the rules were changed after the fire. Overnight stays were no longer allowed until September 2025. You could only stay for up to 5 hours. The rule was changed because the fire department takes a long time to arrive, as we just saw, and with campers parked so close together, a fire can spread very, very quickly. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation going around. Some people claim the camper burned down because someone was reckless with the grill. That's not true. The owners were inside and the fire started inside the camper. Others say that multiple campers burned down, which also is not true. A lot of comments under these videos are directed against the owners of the camper, and that's unjustified. That's not fair. I will put the link to the webcam into the video description, so if you would like to have a look for yourself, feel free to do that. It lets you go back to, I think it's 2 years, and I even found myself on the webcam. Look at this guy.
From now on, I'm driving south, which is strange because I'm used to driving north all the way. But there is no more driving north now. We made it. Wow. It really is an interesting place, let's say. And what happened yesterday, I'm still trying to figure out what happened exactly. Oh man, I'm so sorry for these people. They've lost everything. I mean, all those memories with that car, and and I think all their papers are probably were still in the car too, because they went out the car as fast as they could, and there's no way getting those things out of there. It was so quickly that it burned down all the way. Man. At least nobody was injured.
As I was heading south, my phone provider was having issues, so I couldn't get any signal or internet connection. So I followed the E6 and just let the surrounding scenery sink in. There was a lot to see. Along the way, the German couple I met at the Nordkapp passed by and waved hello. That was funny, because we had parted ways saying maybe we'd meet again somewhere down the road. I didn't think it would be that soon.
When I'm traveling alone, am I really traveling alone? I don't think so. Because when I want to be alone, I choose campsites where I know, or I hope I'm gonna be alone. And when I feel too lonely, I look for other campsites, which was like the case at the Nordkapp. I wanted to meet some other people because on this whole trip I haven't talked to that many people, because in Finland there weren't that many people at the campsites where I was. And yeah, I've talked to so many nice people at the Nordkapp, and that is what makes these trips special, I think. Maybe it's because my first trip was like perfect. It couldn't have gone any better. The weather was really, really nice, except the first 1 or 2 days, like this trip. And I saw northern lights, and I've met so many nice people. Some of them I'm still in contact today, like my friend Basil, shoutouts. I've met him at the Polar Circle in Jokkmokk in Sweden and visited him in Switzerland where he lives last year, and it looks like we're gonna meet in Sweden again on this trip on my way back. And then from there I went to Lofoten from Jokkmokk, and there I've met one guy from Berlin and one guy from Belgium, and with them I traveled for 3 or 4 days, I'm not sure. And that was really such a nice trip. That's why I think I'm not really traveling alone when I'm traveling by myself.
Found a star when your heart is let go. When you take a chance and you try to dance, then she says no. Don't gotta get down, come on, just move on. So tied down, there's nothing to cry about. Got long hairs and some beat up shoes. I got this real bad case of then trying to forget you. And I'm running around not knowing where I'm going. But how you doing? If this is winning, then I'd rather be losing. You got time and space, but baby, this waiting won't go to